tell you that my answer does not consist of downtrodden dream video vixen or fighting every day for my life at the hands of an
reality is not where it seems. Or how about the girls getting raped on 2 fights that they feel safe? Or how about the boys who want us to be bowlers, shot callers? We're here at today's Black Women's Expo, downtown Chicago at McCormick Place, and we have with us Miss Bernie Mac's daughter. She's going to introduce herself.
I am Niecy McCullough, daughter of the late great Bernie Mac, and I am having a ball here at today's Black Women's Expo. I mean, I feel like a fan myself. I know there are people here that came to see me and my mom speak, but I saw Gregory was here, Shaunie Nash. I'm like a kid in the candy store right now, and I can't wait to get downstairs to see all the different exhibits and who's here, especially for the hair products. I can't wait to see what they're down there.
All right, Natural here. I see Mom in the house. You guys, Mom is here too. Tell us more about your experience and all of this hoopla and everything that you got going on.
Well, I gotta tell you, the hoopla is still crazy because I'm so used to just being in the background and letting it be all about my dad. So now that the spotlight is on me and my mom, it's very surreal because I had to pinch myself like, wait, they're not here for my dad, they're here for us. Oh, okay, then once you get the hang of it, it gets going. But it's been really great. Everybody that came in, the outpouring of love that we received from everybody was just really overwhelming and really great. And I'm not gonna cry. I keep saying I'm not gonna cry. So, but it's just been really great.
It's wonderful, wonderful. Are you gonna be an actress? Are you into?
I am not, but everyone keeps telling me that I should, so I think the universe is trying to tell me something. I'm used to being a behind-the-scenes person. I'm writing a book. That's where I like to be, but people keep saying it, so you never know.
All right, girl. Well, we'll stay tuned.
Yes. How about that? That's right.
All right, we're here at the Black Women's Expo, and we have one of our Kidz Korna members. She's modeling. Tell us what you're doing, girl.
Well, we actually doing modeling for Glam Lux Weave is clip-on hair extensions, and we have Jennifer from Baskball, Wive doing the event down the street, and it's just promoting the hair and the benefits of it.
Yeah, basically the whole good thing about Glam Lux is that they're clip-in hair extensions and don't have to go and get sew-ins or put glue in your hair. It's not damaging to your hair, and it gives you like an instant glamorous look. And you end up saving.
Turn around so we can see it.
All clip-in.
All right.
No glue, no thread. It's just a clip. This is a clip-in bang.
Hey, really? Oh, I like that.
And this indie Remy hair, it comes from like 12 inches to this is a 22 inch, 24 inches.
Okay.
And it's natural virgin hair.
Natural virgin hair, never been
You can curl it, you can cut it, you can style it, whatever you want.
You can dye it. So very convenient. But you're saving money because the same money you spend to buy your weave and the person to put your weave in, you can put this in yourself. It takes nothing just to clip this in your hair, no more than 10 minutes. And it saves money. And you could this lasts up to a year. So you can wash it, blow dry, redo it, and it'll be as good as perfect.
Are you guys enjoying yourselves?
I love free stuff.
I've had a lot of free stuff, a lot of facial products and nail polish and lip gloss. And, it's awesome. Awesome stuff. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's good to see some young Black women working. All right.
How you doing?
Thank you. Take a pose, stand up so they can turn around. Okay. Cool.
You quit for today? Is it over? Huh? Yeah, you can call child labor laws. You know that, right? You can petition about this. Are you listening? You know you can petition about this. When you get tired for the day, you can call the child labor law people. And you could just say, I'm done. Okay? Oh, you're so sweet. What are you going to do now? What's next? What are you going to do next? You just chilling? What about lunch? Did you have lunch already? What'd you have? You gotta eat. You gonna eat? What do you? Don't know? McDonald's?
No. Cookies? No cookies. What? What you gonna have? All right, I'll leave you alone.
And we will be right back with executive producer of Basketball Wives, Ms. Shaunie O'Neal.
This is the fabulous mother, and I am here at the Black Women's Expo. This is the 18th annual anniversary of the Black Women's Expo here in McCullough. Such a pleasure to finally meet you.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here.
Well, one of the questions that I wanted to ask you, as executive producer of the show, how do you balance that with your family and then all of the girls and all the production aspects, and have you learned like the business, the technicalities, and all that you have to go through as a producer?
The balance part is a little difficult, you know, because I live in LA and the show is taped out of Miami. So, you know, people always say, well, why weren't you in last week's episode? I don't fully move to Miami when we tape. It's 3 months. I go in and out. You know, I go in for a week, I come home for 3 weeks. I go in for a week, I might come home for 2 weeks, go back. So logistically, it's difficult for me. But, you know, I pop in and out, but there's times that I sacrifice being on the show for home, you know, a lot of times, actually. I'd much rather not miss anything with my kids than to miss a couple episodes of Basketball Wives. But the balancing is a little difficult, but I make it happen. And I forgot that other question you asked.
Oh,
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. How much power as executive producer do you have in the say-so of how the show runs?
Well, the thing about executive producing, which I don't think people grasp, is if you look at the credits, there's a lot of executive producers. We don't run in an order. It's just a table of people, and it's a lot of voting and a lot of decisions being made collectively. So it's not me that says, you know what, this is what it's going to be. You know, we all respect each other's opinion, but it comes down to the end of what's the best decision for all of us. You know, it's a lot of times I'm not happy with the end result, but I was overruled. You know, I created the show, but it doesn't mean that I pick everything from A to Z. Because honestly, if it did, we'd probably be watching Little House on the Prairie. So I don't know if y'all really want me to be making the final decision. Well, you know what? I do have I'm currently, you know, working on 2 other pilots that aren't Wives related at all. But the reality TV thing is something that, you know, it's right now it's like the step to get in the door. And it's working. But that's not, you know, the end all for me. I definitely want to do big screen stuff, behind the scenes, not acting, of course. But it's plenty of other business opportunities that I plan on getting into outside of reality television, shoe line, book. The sky's kind of the limit right now.
Now, this is my last question, and I want to thank you so much for taking the time. I've watched the show, and I see a lot of backbiting, fighting, drama, and maybe you all have taped some of this, and it just didn't make it to the editing room. But what I'm looking for with this so many beautiful African-American women on the show, is there ever time for meditation or spirituality? I never really see them talk about our Creator and unity. So,
it is there, but again, it's they do a lot of VH1 does a lot of demographic, surveys and things like that. And unfortunately, you know, the world we live in, the surveys end up with, we like the drama, we want the, you know. So there's philanthropy, there's spirituality, there's, you know, we actually, when we went to Rome, we went to the Vatican. And we spent a day there and had a beautiful, I mean, it was my second time ever going to the Vatican, but, you know, the girls really do. Evelyn goes to church, believe it or not. Tammy goes to church. You know, they are working on themselves. We actually talked about the cursing. They were like, you know, we need to get this together. Like, Evelyn and Tammy's mouths are just naturally bad. I mean, Evelyn's family, Tammy's family, it stems before them. And they know it. So we talked about all the cursing and working on it, and this was all filmed, but that didn't show, you know. So it's a fight, it's a struggle. It's something that, you know, season 3, I didn't win that battle, I think, because of my big mouth. And since we ended season 3 and I'm publicly talking about not being happy about it, I think I'm now moving some mountains. But I guess I had to, you know, throw some people under the bus and then make things happen.
You seem to be like that mediator, like that in-between person, because you are like as I noticed, you're like the peacemaker between everybody. So it's almost like you like mama. So how does it feel? You know, it's like you got your friends, you know, the basketball wives. Right. Do you feel like you're a mother to them as well as your children?
You know, I kind of take that role a little bit, but again, Tammy's older than I am. You know, I tell people I can't. Right. I cannot tell these ladies what to do and what to say, because they're gonna do what they want to do at the end of the day. But you know, they come to me and know that I'm not going to get in all that. I'm not going to do the drama. I'm going to be honest with you. But I'm not going to sit up here and argue with you. For what? You know, Tammy would be like, well, only person I haven't argued with is you. And I was like, and you, it's not going to happen. What are we going to argue about? What is that deep for me to take the time out of my day to argue with you about? So, you know, that's just me, though. That's me in my everyday life. I'm real calm, real, like, let's be happy, everybody, you know, and try to just enjoy life more than, it takes too much energy to do all that other stuff.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us here at Kidz Korna. And we'll be right back.
My name is Danielle, McDuffy. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I want you to know that I watch the show every week, and I think that you're very fly and beautiful. Thank you. And what I take from the show is I believe that you're very powerful and take on and make things your own, and it's very inspiring to young women. You always look good, and the power that you have, what advice would you have for young women coming from hardship or coming from a bad situation and turning it around, making it their own and becoming a powerful woman?
I would say you got to start with some strength and actually have a plan. I'm big on have a plan, work your plan your work and work your plan. That is very important, you know, just to get up and decide, you know, I'm gonna do something. Okay, fine, let's figure out what that something is. Let's figure out how we're gonna reach that something. So I'm big on plans, and it's gonna detour. Things are gonna happen to kind of throw you off that track a little bit, but it's keeping the eye on the prize.
And for our young ladies that watch the show, do you have any encouraging words for them? I know it is a lot of drama and a lot of backbiting, like she said. Is there anything you want to say to encourage our young ladies?
I think what you can take out of every show you watch is the good and the bad, you know. It could be how not to act and how to act, you know. It's just how you perceive, I think, you know, parents. Like, I don't allow my children to watch Basketball Wives. There's nothing for them to watch on there, you know. It's nothing for them. So I think it starts with parenting. But again, I think that you can take what not to do and what to do in the learning process. I think the ladies in themselves, as grown as we are, we're still learning. Some people are just finding themselves. Some people are seeing themselves on TV and maybe not liking what they see and adjusting. I think Evelyn is one of them. There were some things that Evelyn has said and done that she's looked at and been like, I don't like that part of me. And, you know, kind of just working on stuff.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. So I'm at the Black Women's Expo, enjoying myself. I got to meet the beautiful Shaunie O'Neal, and I learned a lot. She's very inspiring and encouraging to the young ladies. I'm enjoying myself.
My new single, y'all jig with it. I want all y'all to get up at y'all feet. Let's go. Go, 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 go.
So when it comes to this topic today, I have a mixed view. And so I'll leave it at that. I appreciate this wonderful artist for being here. And my opening statements will be extremely heartfelt and controversial. It's great to be here. Praise God.
Another actor there who you all know, who I'm not going to tell you who. I can't guys with y'all, I'm going to know y'all later. So, another girl there, just she and I. She Please Smith, I'm Ronda. So I go up to the top of the studio to say hi to her. Because that was back in the day when I used to put 2 tracks in the back of her. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not just acting so bringing eggs in my panty and brown like, hey, Jordan! You know, so I felt so much better. I felt like, thank you, Lord. And I was just happy, and I was just so happy that it worked out. When my husband and I were finally married, and we were on the dock of the lake, and Brandy started singing "At Last." You know, that's the same thing that Beyonce sang for Barack and Shit. So I was having my moment. But those would have to say the best moments and what you didn't see. The best stuff is always the stuff you don't see. The next day, we stayed at the vineyard, went down to one of the trees and had our names carved in a tree. And we can go back and visit it on our anniversary, you know, and it's there forever, even when we leave here. That tree's still gonna be there with our name carved in it. So it was very sweet. Yes, ma'am.
How did you get started on Reno 911?
How did I get started on Reno 911? Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all something. You guys, this is for me. This is a lesson in faking it till you make it. All right? They called and said there's a sketch comedy show that wants to know if you want to come and audition. I said, of course. I got off the phone and was like, what is sketch? What I gotta do? And so they said you have to come up with some scenes or some characters or whatever they told me to do. I'm like, I can do that. So I go down to the place and I'm sitting there and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. So it's one girl in the corner. She was like doing her vocal warm up. She's like, There was another girl on the other side just stretching, her leg was flipped all up, and I was sitting down reading the magazine. I said, well, should I get up and do that? They were taking a long time out on the door, and I said, are y'all about to get this dog and pony show started? And the lady got an attitude. She said, why? Are you in a hurry? I said, as a matter of fact, I am. I got to get my kids to Chuck E. Cheese by 7 o'clock, lady. And she was like, say what now? And I said, well, the last time I got him there late, they jumped on the mouse, his head came off, he went in the back, and never came back out. I ain't got to be on the time. So they let me do my bit. So the next time, they gave me a call back, and I said, this time I'm going to be ready. I'm going to have it together. I'm going to know what I'm doing. And I went, and I thought I was ready. As soon as I stepped in, I said, hello, everyone. They said, what happened at Chuck E. Cheese? And I was like, oh, girl, let me tell you. So I really did not know what I was doing, but here's the thing. Fake it till you make it is the first part of the story. The second part is, favor ain't fair. It is not. You look at somebody else and go, this girl over here ain't worth 2 cents rubbed together. Why she got a man and I don't? Because favor ain't fair. Why she don't pay her bills on time? She got a new car and I'm the one that got my credit together and I don't got this. Because favor ain't fair. And stop looking at the other fella anyway.
As negative as it is, how do you separate Niecy Nash, the entertainer, from Niecy Nash, the mother, with your children?
And what I do on TV is my do. That's not my who. Do you understand what I'm saying? My do and my who is 2 totally different things. Now, there are times when the line crosses and it's blurred, especially when I'm hosting, because I try to give you the real parts of me and say, this is who I am. You know, bullet hole, stab wound, shank marks, stretch marks, all that. But when it comes to my children, what I do on TV ain't got nothing to do with you cleaning up your room. Girl, let me tell you what, I came home and I used to have a housekeeper. And I love this lady. I had her since one of my daughters was little. I say to my son, how come your room ain't clean? He wasn't trying to be smart. He said, can you believe Miss Alicia was here all day? You need to talk to her, mom. I say, go get your sisters. Come in my room, I pick up the phone. Miss Alicia, come on, stop me, amor. Listen, here's the thing. I love you more than you know, but you're fired. I'll call you later and explain. And I hung up the phone, I looked at my 3 kids, and I said, now, you Miss Alicia, and you Miss Alicia. Go clean up something. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it doesn't mean that I don't take them on the carpets and that they don't get to experience some of the perks of being a celebrity mom or whatever that case may be. But there is still a part of it. Talk slick with it, you huh?
you doing so far at the Black Women's Expo?
I am doing fantastic. As I would just reiterate what my daughter said, I'm not used to really being out in the forefront. I'm used to being in the background. My husband was the one that did it all. So it is quite an experience for me now to be telling my story and be in the center of everything now. But I'm enjoying it, and I'm finding that I have more courage than I thought I had. Yes.
Well, actually, you got big shoes to fill. People still want more of Bernie Mac.
Oh, yeah. Well, one thing for sure, I know I can't fill those shoes, but I can just tell you a little bit about them to help, you know, fill up some spaces in the shoes. How about that?
Okay, tell us something that we'd like to hear.
I'd like to know about that. I'll tell you this. When he first started out, I remember the first time he performed, and as I said, it was at the Condesa Del Mar, he bombed, totally bombed, and that kind of messed with his confidence, so he didn't start back up for years later.
Yeah, see, a lot of folks don't know that.
No.
And you know what, kids, I'm glad that she talked about it right there, because when you're out here trying to make something out of yourself, and if it don't happen the first time, nothing beats a failure but a try. You have to keep going, and I like that.
That's right. What they say, you fall, you get back up, dust yourself off, and keep going.
Okay, tell us about the Bernie Mac Foundation.
Okay, the Bernie Mac Foundation was founded by Bernie Mac himself, founded and funded, and it is for the research and awareness of the disease sarcoidosis, which he was diagnosed when he was 28 years old with sarcoidosis. And it also played a part in his untimely death. Yes.
Wow. Well, we truly, truly miss one of the greatest.
Oh, yes.
We truly miss him.
Yes.
And I know words cannot say.
No. And in the great words of him, who you with?
But guess what? We know God is in control.
That's right. Yes,
He look like he's all over you.
Yes.
All right. Well, you continue to have a great time here at Black Women's Expo.
All right.
Thank you so